SoFaygo, a name that comes to mind when people think of the next generation of SoundCloud rappers and future stars. With a style and cadence that takes inspiration from the likes of Lil Uzi, Playboi Carti, and even Young Thug, Faygo seems to have perfected the craft of having that familiar sound that we all learned to love, while also maintaining a unique aspect to it that makes him stand out. However, the hype for Faygo isn't as heavy nowadays as it was in 2020 or even 2021. In today's video, let's take a look at what SoFaygo's career has been like over the last couple of years and what his potential and current status can do in predicting the actual trajectory of his entire future in the music industry. It seems like SoFaygo popped on the map of every underground hip-hop fan in late 2020 to early 2021. In fact, that's actually around the time that I first discovered him, when one of his fans submitted the song Gear 2 to an old live stream of me reacting to music that the viewer submitted. Instantly, this caught me by surprise, since for the most part, I thought the stream would consist of viewers submitting their own music in hopes of getting a positive review, but this was different. A fan of SoFaygo actually paid their own money in order to put an artist that they liked in front of the eyes of a small content creator. From this moment, I knew that something special was happening, and it seemed to me that Faygo was already building a cult fan base, if you want to call it that. After that day, and likely because of him dropping his project After Me, which featured multiple hits such as Off the Map and Every Day, I started to see SoFaygo's name pop up more and more. Bobbalam, who's a pretty big creator in the hip-hop space, started covering him in videos. There were rumors of him signing to Travis Scott's Cactus Jack label, and those rumors solidified even more when he appeared on Adin Ross's stream during the peak of the Adin Ross takeover of Twitch. I think it also helped that Faygo had a song going absolutely viral on TikTok, with Knock Knock outperforming every single song that he had released up to that point. But this video isn't going to cover the come up and rise of SoFaygo in the industry, because I think patrickcc already did a great job of that. This is just more of what happened after the events that I just talked about. So after some time, it became apparent that SoFaygo did indeed sign to Cactus Jack, and I believe his first official release under the label was a fan favorite snippet called Let's Lose Our Minds. The song performed pretty well because it catered to the old Faygo fans that liked his hype and fun sounding songs such as Knock Knock, Quit Smoking Dabs, and Hits on Hits, while also giving us a little taste of that rage sound when it came to the beat selection. However, the problem is the song dropped on September 1st of 2021, nearly a full year after the project After Me initially dropped. But up to this point, this was the only hiatus that Faygo fans have really experienced from him, and with Faygo already promoting his first studio album Pink Heartz around this time, fans believed that Let's Lose Our Minds was the lead single to the project and that we would be getting tons of music soon when the album would finally drop. Fast forward to now, and Pink Heartz did end up dropping. However, it dropped on November 11th of 2022, over a full year of Let's Lose Our Minds release, and therefore not even featuring the song altogether. Now, this is the main problem that I currently see with Faygo's career path, and probably the overall opinion by the fans. I mean, when an artist goes from dropping multiple projects per year to having his fans wait multiple years just for one project, that can definitely become a problem, especially since Faygo is still not considered a mainstream artist such as Uzi, Travis, and Carti, who have established themselves in the upper echelon of hip-hop artists and can wait multiple years to drop a project while it's still getting insane numbers. And while the reason for Faygo's drastic change in music output is still and probably always will be unknown, a lot of fans actually blame his signing to Cactus Jack for this and believe that he would be much better off if he had never signed to Travis in the first place. However, I personally don't think Faygo signing to Travis is too big of a problem. There's obviously pros and cons to signing to an artist label rather than your standard industry label, and my opinion is that Faygo's taking his own approach to this music thing rather than trying to cater to what's hot in the space right now. Nowadays, you can't mention SoFaygo's name without mentioning another super hot underground artist, Yeet, who many and even himself doesn't consider himself underground at this point, but has overtaken Faygo's spot as the king of the underground. But I personally don't think the comparison is fair at all. The problem with the hip-hop fan base today is that it seems like attention spans are getting shorter. Everyone looks at numbers as if it's the only determining factors in someone's quality of music, and it also seems like every artist is compared to someone else in the music industry. And while yes, the comparison aspect isn't anything new, think of Carti and Uzi in the late 2010s, or even Drake and Kanye, or Drake and Lil Wayne before that, people do have to understand that Faygo and Yeet are completely their own artists in two different situations, and honestly at this point making completely different types of music. I also think it was obvious that the numbers of Pink Heartz wouldn't be as strong currently as they probably would have been if the project was dropped a year earlier, earlier. However, I don't think Faygo or his team need to worry about numbers at this time. It seems to me like Cactus Jack as a label is trying to create a catalog and polish Faygo's sound to mold him for future success as a mainstream artist rather than trying to capitalize on the short-term hype. Now, obviously many can feel some type of way about that, since the general lifespan of an artist nowadays is around 3 to 5 years before their name stops having the hype it originally had, with many not even making it to this mark. However, I personally think Travis realizes that he has something special with Faygo and is trying to present him in a way that would potentially increase his longevity. I personally love Pink Heartz, and while it doesn't sound like the SoFaygo that many fans grew to love from 2019 to 2020, in my opinion, the production of the album and the quality of music was done strategically to cater to a much wider mainstream audience rather than the underground fans who at this point have already somewhat turned on Faygo and are listening to other artists that are coming up. Catering to the underground can only get you so far, and Travis knows that. That's why the current moves of Cactus Jack with the direction of Faygo's career aren't really numbers driven. We also still have to consider the fact that SoFaygo has yet to share a song with Travis, and in my honest opinion, I think that we'll be seeing that either on Faygo's next project or on Travis Scott's own Utopia, whenever that drops. As for what's next for SoFaygo in his career, in my opinion, only time will tell, but I wouldn't go counting him out just yet. Get it? Because the song? And that's because I personally believe that Travis still has a big plan for him. I mean, if he didn't, then think about it. We probably wouldn't have seen SoFaygo featured in a commercial with LeBron James or performing on Jimmy Kimmel. Those are two huge things that have happened for him late 2022. My prediction is that SoFaygo will continue growing his fan base until the imminent rise into the mainstream, even if it takes some time, because there's still so much work to be done and so many ways that they could go about turning Faygo into a star. So while yes, it seems like the current hype for Faygo is weaker than it was probably a year ago, let's see how the next couple of years play out and revisit this entire discussion. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, as well as comment your own opinion about this entire situation.